Hello. Today I would like to share my thoughts and experiences with using the let them theory. So this is a wonderful book that I discovered recently, and what is so profound about it is that it speaks volumes of some of the insights and spiritual teachings that I am already very familiar with and have been studying and practicing over the past decade or more. So this concept is deeply rooted in radical acceptance, and what that means in the purest terms for me is accepting reality as it is. So many years ago, I began a spiritual journey that led me to awaken to the spiritual truths that are out there. I have embodied these truths, I have lived them, I have practiced them, and often I do forget them and I don't practice them, and I do get lost a lot of the time. And reading this book has reminded me of these spiritual truths, which fundamentally is embedded in our true nature. So I believe that we come to this life already with these spiritual truths. There is a natural law to living, and if we aren't conditioned away from that, we don't actually need to learn these spiritual truths. They are already a part of who we are. And what these truths are is living in alignment with our soul and having this faith and trust in reality that it is all working out just as it should. Now, what causes us to not live like this, and what causes us to try to alter reality, change reality, control reality? It's our conditioning, it's our beliefs, it's the meanings that we have placed onto reality, and we learn these growing up from our parents, from society, from the environment. And so reality becomes a little distorted, and it causes us to try to fix it and change it and control it. So the biggest takeaway from the let them theory is that let them actually means let reality be. Let life unfold as it should, and don't try to control reality or other people. The fundamental truth of the let them theory is that we actually don't have any control over the way life unfolds, and we don't have any control over what other people do, what other people say, what other people feel, how other people behave, what they think about us. We don't actually have any control over that. And when we can actually accept, truly accept and embody this truth, there is a huge weight that is lifted, and we're no longer carrying the weight of the world, because the weight of the world in essence is the weight of other people. When we carry the weight of other people, we are in resistance to ourselves, to who we want to be, to our truth. We stop moving with the flow of life. We start to go against it. We start to control everything, and this causes suffering. The quickest way to end suffering, which I have been reminded of lately, is to let go of controlling other people and let go of controlling circumstances that are beyond our control. Where does the let me part of this come into play? Once you let them be and let go of control, you immediately turn it back on yourself. Let me. And what that means is I can't control other people. I can't control this situation, but I can control what I think, what I feel, and the actions I take in response to other people and circumstances. So when I began reading the Let Them theory, I thought there's a whole process around this. First, I have to let go and let them, and then that's going to eventually lead me to the let me part and awaken me to who I really am. But actually, this can occur in the very moment. So we let them be because we know that we can't actually control other people, but we can immediately turn to ourselves and say, what can I do right in this very moment? What can I do that doesn't involve changing another person or changing a circumstance that has happened? What I can do in this moment is make a decision about what I'm going to do to have control in this moment. And that could be, how am I going to react to this situation? How am I going to think about it? What meaning am I going to put on it? What action can I take to let go of them and what they've done and said and what's happening, and come back to what I actually can do, what is actually in my control? I will give you some examples of how I've used this let them theory over the past week or two in my life. For one, I was deeply concerned with how the parents and families at my daycare viewed me and my educator role and my methods of caring for their children. If I did something that I thought was good and I mentioned something or I said something or I posted photos, I had to say, let them think what they will think. Let them feel what they will feel. Let them have a judgment about me if they need to. Let them ask questions. And let me, okay, if I'm not worrying about what they are thinking anymore, then let me accept myself. Let me believe that I've done a good job for that day. Let me praise myself. Let me feel good about myself. Let me focus on activities and things that are moving in the direction of action and goals and that are fun for me, instead of consuming all of my mental space all day long and making it about what other people are thinking about me. Move on and just keep focusing on my goals and my work and how I'm going to continue to care for the kids and what makes me feel good during the day as a carer and an educator, and do those things. And I can tell you that it has been amazing to just let go and wait. If somebody has a problem or somebody has a concern, let them come to me and let me be okay with who I am. And I know this is easier said than done, but if you've practiced this radical acceptance for many years and you already understand the fundamental concept that you cannot control another person, you cannot control whether they like you or whether they think that you're good or not. Only you can control what you think of you and how you're going to continue throughout life despite these possibilities of what other people are going to think. Another example is my husband. So I have been controlling his actions for so long now, like more than 2 decades. When he gets up, how much sleep he's getting, is he being healthy and eating right and exercising? And whenever I get to this point where he's not, I get so worked up, I get so angry, and I try to control it. And I haven't been doing this for the past 2 weeks. Whenever I have felt Okay, he's not up at the time that he's supposed to be up. Let him sleep in. Let me go and do the job that I'm meant to do. Clean the daycare, focus on eating healthy, have my nice lunch, get on the treadmill, do some exercise, let me do some paperwork, let me just forget about him and focus on me and the actions that I need to take. This is something I can control. I can control what I need to do in that moment. I can control where I place my attention and focus. And it has been easy. And as I said, the let me part of the let them theory is really only going to be more doable when you've accepted what let them actually means. It means that I cannot actually control my husband. I cannot actually make him feel things that he's not ready to feel. And to accept that nobody on this planet is going to change and do anything differently unless they actually want to. No one's going to like me unless they decide for themselves they want to like me. Nobody's going to see me as doing a good job with their children unless they want to see me that way. My husband's not going to want to be healthy and exercise and get up early if he doesn't want to. No amount of stress on me is going to change a thing. All it's going to do is make me deeply unhappy and stressed and suffer. And letting go of that gives me the option to go let me and make decisions about what I can control. I can control me. I can control what I do. I can choose the fun activities that I do. I can choose to exercise and eat healthy. And I can choose to accept people as they are. And I do just want to add that part of radical self-acceptance is coming into a deep acceptance of our feelings. So this can seem like bypassing, okay, that person has said or done something and it's truly triggered me and upset me. Somebody was mean to me and awful. Okay, let them do that. And I'm just going to avoid my feelings and quickly turn it around and go and find something else to focus on. That doesn't actually work. The quick turnarounds that I'm talking about have only happened to me because I've dealt with my relational trauma so much over the years that clearing away all that junk and not holding on to stored emotions has actually made the let them theory much more easy to embody and recognize and understand. It is very important that we do still have a calling to work through our conditioning and all those false beliefs that we've placed onto reality that are causing us to focus on other people and to not be able to come back into a place of self-love and to just focus on us. We're not going to be able to do that if we don't ever deal with the hurt underneath. So when you're in a moment of feeling hurt and angry and upset at somebody, the let them part is let them be mean, let them be hurtful. I don't want to use all of my precious energy anyway fighting. I'm going to love the me that's hurting. I'm going to cry to myself. I'm going to tell my partner how I feel. I'm going to tell my therapist how I feel. I'm going to seek help to understand why this hurt me so much. And I'm going to radically accept these feelings in myself. I'm not going to push them away. And so that's the let me part. Let them hurt me. Let me heal myself, and then let me take actions that are grounded in boundaries. Let me not go out of my way for that person anymore because of how they've treated me. Let somebody else deal with that person because their treatment of me I don't accept and like, but I'm happy because I didn't have to fight that person. I didn't have to give away my power and energy to turn it back on me. I let myself feel, I let myself hurt, I let myself cry, and that's the part of let me. And then what I've decided as an action is to not have that person in my life, or to not put myself in the situations that allow them to treat me that way. That's the control that I have. I can't control how other people treat me, but I can control whether I allow that to continue or not. I highly recommend reading this book, and for me the spiritual teachings that it aligns with is the first being the work of Byron Katie, which is what thoughts am I thinking, what judgments do I have about other people, and how do I know that they're actually true. And once I realize it might not be true, I turn it back around to me and I look at my patterns and my behaviors and my thoughts and my feelings, and that helps me to take action on the things that I can do and change about myself. It also applies to the Eckhart Tolle teachings, which are to accept the present moment. So when you let them be and you let reality be, there is a peace inside of you. Accepting reality as it is, there is a peace inside of you. And reality is reality. The only suffering is our thoughts about it and trying to change it. Without that, reality is just happening as it should. It's going to happen regardless. There's nothing we can do about it. All we can do is come into alignment with that reality, stop going against the current, come into radical acceptance of reality and other people, including our own feelings and thoughts. I find that it also aligns with the teachings of Benigno Massaro, which is to come into the space between thoughts, and you will find that reality still exists, our true nature still exists, even without the judgments and thoughts, even without the approval of others. We still exist. There is still a deep peace underneath all of that. We don't need to wait for other people to like us and approve of us and to change, for us to be happy, for us to continue on our own journey and do the things that we truly want to do in life. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'm wishing you all a wonderful day.